going on, everybody? I hope that you can hear me. Everybody can hear me okay? Can everybody hear me all right? I don't know if you guys can or not. I'm going to kind of move this a little bit because, as you guys know, I got a new system, so I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Let me get the little chat area telling me that you can hear everything okay, because I don't have the little on-air thing. I'm still working on everything. It's just one of these things. It is what it is. Hope everybody, yes, that's fantastic. You guys can see me. You can hear me. It looks like the contrast is a little off. Looks like I've been doing whatever. For those of you just joining us, this is the pre-show, so we got about 4 minutes. I'm just going to say hello to everybody and just kind of welcome everybody and see how you guys are all doing. We got a really, really cool show tonight. I will be by myself. For those just joining us, once again, this is Funkatopia Live. I am your host, Mr. Christopher, and I am going to be talking a lot about some things that you guys want me to talk about, some things that you have no idea about, and I'm going to inform you, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, and it's going to be a good show. We got very, very special guests tonight that we're going to be talking about the Shawn Music Festival, which is a really cool event. I don't want to give away too much about it, but it's really, really cool. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do that right at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. You know how that goes. I'll take myself off of the screen and we'll do a brand new, why is this side of me so friggin' dark? I'm turning this light over here. It just seems like I got no light over here. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing fantastically well. And on top of that, we're going to be talking about the things that you guys want to talk about, which is the announcement that's coming on Thursday about the Diamonds and Pearls box set release. I have a lot of details about that, just so we're clear, a lot of details. So I'm going to give you all the details that I have. We're going to be talking about all the cool stuff that's going on, a little bit of news, show you some toys and whatnot that I have found in the vinyl world and whatnot. This is just not working out at all. I've got to figure out some new setup with this new computer. Anyways, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. What we do normally is say hello to all you fine folks. Hello, April, Kiaria, Susie, Krista, Lawrence, and Michelle. So many fine folks here. Arlene, Dave. I see some of you. We're going to talk a little bit about this too. I got a couple people in here from Maui, actually from Hawaii. Our one and only Bonnie Freshore, she's actually in Hawaii, but she's not in the Maui area. But we were just in Maui, like literally no joke, was in Lahaina and in June, at the end of June. The beginning of June. And so we were walking those streets. We were there for 7 days, and probably 6 of those days we were in Lahaina, walking the shops, hanging out, doing everything. And for it to be like gone now is unbelievable to me. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and some of the craziness with that. Some really, really cool stuff happening with Tamar, cool stuff happening with Liv Warfield, obviously, Michael Gabriel. We're going to be talking about the Shawn Music Festival and whatnot, and Moore Stays doing some stuff in Vegas. Jerome Benton's doing some stuff. A lot of things that we're going to be talking about tonight. Very, very Prince heavy night, which you guys love, and I'm all about it. We can talk about Prince all day long, like we normally do. That's fine with me. But again, tonight we're going to have a very, very special guests, plural. The founder of the Shawn Music Festival, Shawn Satterfield, and also the one and only Dopapod drummer, Neal Fro, is in the house. I can't wait. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some fun talking to those guys and talking about this music festival they got going on. You guys got to hear about this. We're going to do that right at the top of the hour as soon as we start the show, which is going to be in a mere 30 seconds from right now. So I hope that you are ready. Go ahead and get your popcorn and whatnot. Obviously, you know how this works. The way that we'll be doing this is we are going to be, if you miss any part of the show, it's going to be out on iHeartRadio. It's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be on Odyssey. It's going to be on all the places that you listen to podcasts tomorrow. So if you miss any part of it, that's perfectly fine. And of course, if you want to listen to this, if you're planning to go onto the road, I will be turning on the app right now. So if you have the Funked Up app, go ahead and pull up the Funked Up app and you can listen online. No visuals, but you can at least listen. So it is 8 o'clock. So I'm going to minimize myself. Thank you guys so much for coming. Obviously, I'm running the show by myself tonight without my co-host, Jeff. So that's perfectly fine. I've done it this way for many, many years before he came on board. So I think we can handle it. All right, let me see if I can get this lighting situation taken care of. I'm going to pull myself down and let's do this show. Have some fun, guys. All right. You guys ready? Give me just a minute. Welcome to Funkatopia. Man, I'm just going to forget this light thing. You're just going to have to deal with the contrast for right now. I hope you guys are all doing fantastically well. I am your host, Mr. Christopher. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Tonight, we have some very, very special guests from the Shine Music Festival that we're going to bring on board. And we're going to talk about this really, really cool music festival that's an ADA inclusive. I mean, it's a really, really cool event. I actually have a lot of background in, as far as wheelchair accessibility, because my parents owned a company that's all that they did was home modifications for people with disabilities. So it was really, really cool to kind of go into people's homes and change the way that they live, widen doorways so they can get the wheelchairs through, do overhead lifts, do all these really, really cool things. So when I heard about this music festival, I said, I really want to know a little bit more about this music festival because it kind of hit a little bit of a special nerve. So you never know. You never know. And of course, we got tons of things that we're going to be talking about tonight, including the official announcement is going to be coming this Thursday regarding the Diamonds and Pearls box set. They haven't even announced that it's a box set yet, but it's coming. But we wanted to make sure that we got our guest in line and get them in so we can make best use of their time. So before we kind of get into all that, I just want to make sure that our prayers go out to all the people in Maui. There has been so much going on there. It's just really ridiculous, everything that's been happening there. So I want to make sure that we kind of have them in our prayers. And while I'm actually doing this, I want to make sure that I forward this. I want to pull up this really, really cool. Well, it's a very, very unfortunate if you're on the Funked Up app because you can't see the visual of this, but this is actually a picture of the lineup for this Shine Music Festival. And it's going to be very, very, very cool. If you have the opportunity to go out there, if you happen to be somewhere in the Denver area, let me go ahead and bring on these very, very special guests. And I want to make sure that you guys pay attention because especially if you have any possibility to be able to make it out to this event. I know it's kind of short notice. It's happening on the 26th, which is this Saturday. And let me bring on the one and only founder of this event. I got to find out how she came up with this. Shawn Satterfield and the drummer for the mighty Dopapod, Neal Fro Evans. Let me go ahead and bring both of them in here. Hey, what's going on, folks?
Hey, how are you, Mr. Christopher?
I am doing fantastically well. I actually should bring that back up because, but I want people to see your faces first because this is a really, really cool event. And I wanted to make sure that right at the top of the hour, we talked about this so that there's no interruption as far as this is concerned. But the Shine Music Festival is a festival that is not just about the music. It's also about accessibility for people that are in wheelchairs, or just people that just have different physical challenges that have a little bit of it, any kind of difficulty getting around. How did you come up with this idea for the Shine Music Festival, first off?
Well, live music's my thing, right? Some people golf, some people fish. I do live music. And when in the community, I met my husband at a show, my husband met his girlfriend at a show, like my friends. The guy who married us, I met in line at Fish Vegas 2004. I was just standing behind him in line, and he ended up marrying me, from 2004 to 2013. And it's the community, right? It's that collective community that happens, and you can have just as great of a conversation with someone sitting next to you at a Prince show or a, green sky bluegrass, right? It's just that moment. It's the place where our socioeconomic status, what we do for a living, the color of our skin, none of that matters. And when I realized that the thing that I love the most wasn't inclusive, and when I say that, what I mean is I believe that the ADA, minimalistic ADA laws, actually create barriers that prevent people with disabilities from being a part of that community. I can't go into that area. It's fenced in. It's I can't go in and introduce myself. I can't hang out with them. I can't share in the groove with them. And they can't come out and meet us. And I thought that just kind of didn't sound too great. So I set out to make it, to prove that it was possible.
I think this is an insanely, really, really cool event. And again, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you guys on first is because I wanted all the attention to kind of be on this, just for, for the 10 or 15 minutes that we have you here. But also, I want to talk to Neal Evans, who the first time I saw Dopapod was years ago at the Bear Creek Music Festival, and I never experienced Dopapod before. And it was out in the middle of the woods down in Florida. And it was Live Oak, Florida, I guess is what it's called. And I was like, I've never seen anything like this. This is it's just amazing. So Neal, it's an honor to talk to you. This is really, really cool to get an opportunity to talk to somebody from Dopapod. I don't know why I've never had you guys on the show, but how did you get involved? Absolutely. How did you get involved with Shine? Give me a little bit of background on how you heard about the event and your involvement.
Yeah, so I guess it was 2021. I was playing a festival, and Kevin, who is one of Shawn's helpers with this whole thing, I met him, and he was saying he booked some festivals, so we stayed in contact. And he called me when Shawn was putting together Shine, and was just explained the idea of the event to me. And I was just like, well, yeah, I got to be involved in this. Back then budgets weren't really much of a thing. And it was just like, and everyone that I called to be in my band, I was like, hey, there's probably not going to be money, but this is a really cool thing. And everyone's like, oh yeah, we need to be involved in this. Everyone is really stoked to be in on the ground level on, just a good cause. And, just kind of donate time and services. It's hard sometimes for us to find a way to give back in a very direct way. It's like I've had campaigns with Dopapod where we get $1 of every ticket sale goes to this or that, but it's like we don't really see that, like in my immediate being. But this is a way to come to an event and just see, okay, cool. This is all inclusive for people with disabilities of all levels, and they can be here in person with me right now, hanging out to experience this thing that I do every day to try and, hopefully just bring to the world and enjoy with everyone else.
Yeah. And that was kind of the thing, as I kind of in the prelude was talking, because again, my parents owned a company for a long time, for many years, probably 2 decades, called All-in-One Accessibility. And it existed in Georgia. And that's all they did was home modifications for people with disabilities. And it was, so hearing about this festival had a really, really special place in my heart, because I was just like, this is really, really cool that they actually do this, especially in an outdoor event where outdoor events are notoriously for not being wheelchair compliant. I mean, it's just not ADA compliant. It's not, and you don't really pay attention to those things if you're able-bodied. You don't think about, just walking, just hopping up on top of a curb, and you don't think about it, how difficult it is for somebody in a wheelchair or somebody to get around and just do basic things. And in a concert event, you normally see these concert venues that will have specific seats that are allocated for people in wheelchairs, but they're normally way, way back in the building. And, sometimes they're not, but a lot of times they are. So to kind of see, I mean, I saw this picture and I was just like, this is really friggin' cool. I was like, it's just, and the thing about it is, what's more than anything, I mean, obviously most of these people that are here at this event are able-bodied, but to know that if you're not able-bodied, that you can actually go to this event and partake in this and just and really just feel like you're included in the experience is really, really cool. But one of the things that I caught my eye more than anything else is you guys have a feel the beat vibro tactile dance floor that allows the users to feel the sound through vibrations. Can you tell us a little bit about, and this is just one thing that's really, really awesome and really, really cool that that this is being included, that things are like this are being put into this event. But tell me a little bit about some of these cool things like the X-ray glass and the full body sound device. Tell me about some things. Shawn, I don't know, you're probably best for this. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Neal's experienced it because it's for everyone. So he can talk about it too from an experience of, so full body sound. We'll start with the dance floor. Feel the Beat. They're a nonprofit here in Denver, and they created they have an actual dance studio that has bone conducting oscillators underneath it. So through vibrational energy, all of the nuances of the music are translated through this floor. And they created a portable version of it. So we connect it directly to the soundboard. And so when Neal's playing his drums, or you've got Dan Africano from Thievery Corp playing the bass, it's like it's not just one level of vibration. It's all the different nuances. And we also have full body sound, which the guy who invented it is actually a rocket scientist who lives in Boulder and had a ski injury, was using a TENS device. So those little devices where they got the little electromagnetic pads and it like stimulates your muscles. He got bored with it. So he took it apart, and next thing you know, he created full body sound. And the first time I experienced that, I ugly cried. I knew they were filming, and so I was trying to be all cool, and no, I ugly cried, because it was just the music that I love was in my body through electromagnetic energy. And then X-ray glasses, they're new this year. I believe this is the first time they will ever be at a music festival. But they have these glasses. They have two things. These glasses that actually have closed captioning that goes across the bottom of the lenses. I have not seen it in person yet, so I'm really excited. There's so many things. There's so many barriers that breaks down, because not everybody knows ASL interpreting, and also what if you're not all the way in front of the stage and can't see them. So we have, we just kind of we have Neuro Sensory Club of Denver will create spaces for our neurodiverse guests. We have backpacks that have just various things that might help someone navigate the day a little bit better, from fidget spinners and headphones and earplugs and whatnot. So yeah, we just kind of, Neal, what did you think the first time you laid on that floor and at Shine and listened to the music?
You're gonna hate me, but I never got to.
Oh,
I was backstage the whole time.
I wanted to hear.
All your friends did.
I know.
All your friends did.
Laying
busy organizing 3 bands.
Not just standing on the floor.
Well, you can be on a wheelchair. Yeah. And it has ramps, so even people in wheelchairs can get up on it. I can't believe you didn't do it.
I know. Well, I'm very excited to check it all out this year. I think I'll have more of an opportunity to do it this year.
So this event is happening on the event is happening this Saturday, and it is obviously the main headliner is Sun Squabby and the supergroup Neal Evans Throwdown, which features obviously Neal Evans, also Thievery Corporation bassist Dan Africano, Felix Pastorius, who's the son of jazz bassist legend Jaco Pastorius, British pianist Harry Waters, who's the son of Pink Floyd co-founder Roger Waters, guitarist Emmanuel Alexander, and saxophonist Nick Gerlach. and of course Greg Harris as well. That is a super group for sure. I mean, are these people now? Here's one of the things that I can say about the funk community, and especially Bear Creek. Kind of, well, I don't even, does Bear Creek even exist anymore?
No, unfortunately, it was the greatest festival ever, and it
was very, very cool festival. I think I went to their last one in New Orleans, which was one of the weird ones. But anyways, it's always kind of gone beyond just funk. It was always more jam band funk oriented. So you always had bands like Lettuce and New Master Sounds and all that kind of weeded in there. Are these all people that you've putting this band? All people that you've played with on a regular basis, or that who's somebody in there that you've wanted to play with that you haven't had an opportunity to?
Yeah, it's the full range. So like Dan Africano is one of my best friends and collaborators for about 16 years now. We've probably played in 30 different original projects together, among other things. I actually just subbed for the drummer of Thievery Corporation last week, just to add to our list.
Wow.
But so he's the longest running collaborator, and Felix I met last year. He played in one of my bands, Photon, a couple times, and then Harry Waters I met last year. I did a little Pink Floyd thing with him up in Vail, and we've just been in touch since then. And I told him about this, and he was really, really stoked to come down. And the rest of those guys are all just like awesome Denver locals that I've played a million gigs with. As a drummer, I rarely get to like be the band leader. These guys call me all the time for gigs, so it felt good to like call them and be, hey, come play in my band. And then Greg is a real special one. He was actually one of my drum teachers when I was in high school. He was in college at the time, would come to my high school and teach me drums after school. And so now getting to bring him into a band is just going to be really fun. I've never actually played a gig with him, but I've known him forever.
I see so many cool names. I see Todd Stoops in here from Kung Fu.
Oh yeah, he was in the Throwdown the first year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what's this Frick Flack Blackjack? What's this Frick Flack Blackjack? That's hard to say.
Neal, have you actually experienced it live?
Oh yes.
Because I haven't experienced. Okay.
Well, I was also just at the Secret Dreams Festival last weekend, and I didn't see this, but my friend had seen it. But basically, Frick Frack Blackjack is just, they have a collection of just items. It's just, you're just wagering items. What's in your pocket? What's in your backpack? Do you have something? Do you see something that back here that you want more than you want than that earring or that watch or that water bottle or that baseball cap or whatever? But apparently somebody this weekend observed somebody getting their eyebrow shaved off. So it looks like they wagered an eyebrow and lost. So it's very, very fun. It's very silly.
Okay.
Super not serious. And also the dealers are just characters. Like you will experience
like
some real magic dealing with them.
Well, I am so glad we were able to get 20 minutes in with you guys, because I really wanted to make sure that people knew about this festival. I do know that we have a lot of Funkatopians that are not able-bodied and probably would love to take advantage of this. I wish we'd be able to get you guys on sooner, but hopefully we got some folks out there that are in Denver that will. Where is Real Works Denver? Obviously, I'm in Atlanta, so I'm not really familiar with this area.
Yeah, it's in Rhino, so it's right downtown. It's really easy access, and Denver has free public transportation in the month of August. So if anybody's coming in, and or it's really easy to get to, there's a bus stop or a light rail stop right there. So easy to get to.
It is just so cool that you guys are doing this. Shawn, hats off. This is a really fantastic event. Seeing some of these pictures and some of the video clips of some of the stuff that you guys are doing is just groundbreaking. I hope you guys ultimate success in it. This keeps on growing, because this is a really cool idea, a really fantastic event. For those just joining us, we have the founder, Shawn Satterfield, and of course, Dopapod drummer Neal Evans here. We're talking about this event called the Shine Music Festival that's happening this weekend, Saturday. It's happening 12 to 8, and then they also have some after hours 8 to 1. That's very Bear Creekish. And there's a lot of things that are going on, a lot of bands that are playing, a lot of really great talent that I can kind of see in this lineup that are just members from a bunch of fantastic jam bands all going to be in Denver. Shine Music Festival. Where is the best place for them to go to get tickets to find out more information if they wanted to, Shawn?
Yep, shinemusicfestival.com. Tickets are there. They can also get all the event details. We run our show on schedule. Ask Neal. When it says that you're on at 4:10, you're on at 4:10. So we run it. We have to. It's a tight schedule. So we keep everybody on track to the best of our ability.
And again, what I didn't say in my synopsis also was that the primary focus of this is that it's very, very accessible for wheelchairs. And they also have lots of really cool things like sensory dance floors and a bunch of things to help people who are not able-bodied be able to better experience the event. And that is very, very cool. So once again, Shawn, Neal, thank you so much for coming on and talking about this. This is a really cool idea.
Thanks so much for having us. Appreciate it.
And Neal, we will be talking. I got to get Dopapod on the show at some point.
Okay, cool.
Let me know when you got some new releases. Shawn, anytime Shawn Music Festival happens, at least give me a month so we can get in front of people and make sure they have enough time to get their tickets and get out there to you.
We'll be bringing...
I'm sure she said a positive thing.
Possible. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It cut me off. Yeah. We'll definitely let you know.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I appreciate it so much. And of course, we'll make sure I save this clip for you so you can use it for promo starting tomorrow on your socials.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Bye.
All right. That was Shawn Satterfield, founder of Shine Music Festival, which was an ADA event. It's a music festival. It's a jam band festival. But what's really, really cool about it is that everything, from the second you get out of the vehicle, if you happen to be wheelchair bound and you are in a scenario where you want to get into the event and you want to experience it and you want to enjoy it, everything's going to be there. I mean, they're going to have walkways that are going to help. I mean, they got caption eyeglasses that actually show captions and stuff. It's just really, really cool. It's very, very awesome. And I wish that I could attend, but I just found out about it just recently, but it's going to be awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, how is everybody doing? Is everybody doing all right? Let's see, fine folks. As you see, I'm by myself today. And as you can see, I've got to tweak out the video because we've got some weirdness going on because I got a new computer. I didn't spend a lot of money on it, but I got a new computer because I was having some video issues as far as things kind of freezing up and doing whatnot. And so it's good. But I got some kinks to work out because I feel like the camera's right in my face. Matter of fact, it is right in my face. So I'm going to kind of back up just a little bit. And on top of that, yes, because I got my Roots shirt on and everything. So all that being said, I know what you guys are here tonight. And I don't have any of my fancy graphics over here, and it's green all over my hands because the contrast is all messed up. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. Listen, yes, I know my head is blocking Prince. You know what I could do? Let's see if I can make this work a little bit better. I don't know. I might be able to, I don't want to block Prince. You know how that is. I want to make sure that here he is. I'm gonna let him peek over my shoulder. I'll block her. It would just look like, I don't know where to put anything. That's okay. We're just going to block. We're just going to move them up. How about that? Let's put them up over there. That's fine. And I'm going to move myself more in the middle because I don't have this. I got to work through all this graphics. So you guys have to just deal with this. I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. I am having an amazing time. It's been, as you know, I was not here last week, primarily because of the fact that I just had so much going on. It was just too much. It was just too much. And I needed to just kind of get things together. That's basically what it was, is I needed to make sure that we had the news that you guys want. And I knew that there was going to be something happening this week as far as the announcement with the Diamonds and Pearls box set. Of course, it has not been officially announced that it's a Diamonds and Pearls box set, but they did say that there's an official announcement coming on Thursday, and they put up a Diamonds and Pearls graphic. So what I had told you about a few weeks ago, and I said it's coming. I'm telling you, it treated as rumor or conjecture, but it's coming, and here it is. It's coming. So there you go. So you are going to be experiencing Diamonds and Pearls box set, and I'm going to go into all the details about what I know, and I'll share that with you as best as I possibly can, without kind of ticking off the powers that be. And I'm still going to do that anyways. That's, how I am. But I am by myself today. Obviously, for those just joining us, I'm Mr. Christopher. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. My co-host Jeff is out today. He has got business stuff, as sometimes we all do. And let's just go ahead and get into it, man, shall we? Because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I want to make sure that we talk about it all. And I'm not going to go directly into the Diamonds and Pearls things. We got lots of really cool stuff to talk about. But we got lots of stuff to talk about. And I want to make sure that we talk about it all. The first thing I had talked about earlier, one of the things that I wanted to bring up was the folks in Maui. I kind of feel like I really want to do, I feel like I want to do something for the folks in Maui and specifically Lahaina, because it wasn't all of Maui that suffered, but really those people in Lahaina. And for those that don't know, I was in Maui the last week of May going into the first week of June, and we were about a few miles away from Lahaina, and we were there for 7 days. And I went to the town of Lahaina we went to the town of Lahaina probably 6 of those 7 days we were there. Here's actually a picture of Lahaina. We were actually on a boat. And this was a picture of Lahaina from the boat. This is actually a little bit east of Lahaina, but this is this beautiful little quaint town. It's got really, really cool shops all up and down. It's just a really, really cool little place. This is that banyan tree that you keep hearing them talk about, how it was like this 150-year-old banyan tree. This is from under the banyan tree. It was one of the few pictures that I did take in the town of Lahaina where we were walking around. But yeah, I was there underneath that banyan tree, and just like, this is amazing. It's like 4 separate trees, and they all kind of come together, and they all kind of intertwine, and they go and they grow into each other. It's like really bizarre. It's just kind of giving you an idea of like the root system of this thing. This is what it looks like. It's like a bunch of trees just kind of just grew together. It's just amazing. But it was just a little bit staggering just to kind of see everything that was there. And obviously this is my girls going, you see Jaden in the front there and Jolie in the back, and Dion in the middle. And this is actually in a little shopping area of Lahaina. This has got some really cool shops that were in here in Lahaina. And this is actually the town of Lahaina. We spent a lot of time in this area too, because there's restaurants and stuff upstairs, and there's a bunch of things. This is literally 2 months ago that I was just at this place, walking around in these shops. And I see people saying here that they are stopping people from helping. Oh, it's Susie saying it. I don't know. And here's the other thing too, is that it just doesn't make any sense to me how this all panned out. It just doesn't make any sense. Because now is totally toast. It's totally down to the ground. The most of these images are from AP News. It's just, and of course you're hearing all these, and that's the banyan tree that I was under. Now everything is burnt all around it. They think that they have, just underneath the banyan tree, bark, everything's apparently still alive. So it should be fine. It should actually live, which is fantastic news. But yeah, that whole area to the right of that tree that looks all burnt, that kind of goes out to that dock. That literally was an entire shopping center. There was an ice cream store right there on the corner. There was a really cool t-shirt shop where you've seen me wear my Maui shirt before, that I got. It's all these shops that we shopped at. I bought a hat at the store that's right in front of this banyan tree, towards the bottom of the picture. I don't, it's unreal to me that all this stuff is gone. And of course, now they've got all these conspiracy theories, and I call them conspiracy theories because until they find proof, that's really kind of what you got to call them. But everybody's saying this is not natural. Even the mayor said there was a bomb-like sound that went off when the fire started. I mean, the mayor said that flat out. And every single one of these people that lives up and down this town of Lahaina has been approached by real estate developers before this event happened, trying to get them to purchase or to sell their land, and none of them would sell. None of them would sell. So all of a sudden now it's just, this happened. And the way that it happened and the area that it strategically took out and how it just stopped, like the way that it's kind of like you just take like Lahaina and this, like, just, that's it. It's amazing to me. And I just can't, it's a tough watch. I'm not going to lie. It's a really, really tough watch to kind of see that breakdown like that. I'm shocked. And if there is some nefarious stuff that's gone on, I hope the people are brought to justice, and I hope they rot in hell because it is amazing to me that this happened. And when you look at the scope, and I don't have a picture on me, but when you look at the scope of like bigger, and you look at the pictures of how that worked out, it's like all these places that are around it were just unscathed. And it's so suspect. It's so suspect. It is what it is. Anyways, prayers up to those fine folks and all those people that, are suffering. It's really, really bad. We are going to be talking about the diamonds and pearls. Yes, we are. We're going to be talking about it, just so you know. I kind of feel like this whole green screen thing is just annoying me because it's just, I've got this green tint around me and I don't know if this is going to make a difference or not, but what if I just, let me just do this. Hold on a second. You guys remember the old school, don't you? Of course, we're going to go old school. Gonna go old school. I'm done with the green screen behind me for this part of it. Anyways, so let's talk about some fun stuff. Okay. Let's prayers up. Keep your prayers coming for the folks in Maui and Lahaina, because it's just unbelievable to me. And I can't, it sucks. And I can't. All right. Let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. And for some reason, these two people are like one of the two richest people on the planet, not the richest people on the planet, but for some reason they want to fight, which is insane to me. This is so funny that they want to fight in like an actual like UFC type of ring, which makes absolutely no sense because it just doesn't make any sense. They don't have anything to prove to anybody. They're two very, very smart people, but Elon Musk, out of all people, what's the age difference? Somebody, one of you fine producers in the chat room, what is the age difference between these two? It doesn't, I mean, we talked about, Veronica says Elon took away the famous Twitter bird. Now it says on X, unless it's X.com, you really shouldn't call it that, but it's just, the other thing too is what's weird is that there's a huge age difference between them. There's like at least 10 years or something like that between them. And Mark Zuckerberg is also training to fight. He wants to fight in the UFC. He wants to actually be a fighter, and he's going through the training process, and he's actually doing this training, which is even crazier because Elon is not like at all. And so this makes no sense to me whatsoever. It makes no sense that Elon would want to fight this guy who's been training to fight for years now and is actually in pretty good shape. And Elon is not. So I don't know. I find this really, really funny. I hope that, and I hope nobody dies. Let's put it like that. Especially Elon. Hopefully they'll just do whatever. I did some vinyl shopping today. I wanted to show this to you. Yes. Trust me, we're getting to it. We are going to get to the Diamonds and Pearls box set. I just kind of want to work our way into it because I feel like it's going to be a big talk. And I really, thank you. Veronica says Mark is 39 and Elon is 52. So yeah, that's just too much of a difference. That's too much of a difference. It doesn't even make any sense. That's like me. I'm 54. That's like me fighting. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't. Anyways, so I did some vinyl shopping and I wanted to share some of what I found for you guys. And I have 4 things that I want to show you. And let's just see. I'm curious if anybody else has any of these items. For some reason, these particular ones were missing out of my collection, and I happened to get on a little bit of a vinyl collection thing. But first one, I was looking for some Jesse Johnson type stuff. And just because I was like, I have all of Jesse's stuff on vinyl, but some of the other stuff that he did, I don't have. And so I happened to pick up this right here, Sue Ann Carwell's Blue Velvet album. Does anybody else have this? Sue Ann. So, but apparently Jesse wrote like a good portion of it. I think there's like 9 songs on the album, and Jesse was pretty much spearheaded like the first half of the album. But does anybody else have this album? I got it on CD because the reason why I didn't get it on vinyl was because I love collecting vinyl, but I don't like getting up in the middle of an experience of listening to music and having to flip over the vinyl. It doesn't work for me. Sue Ann Carwell, Blue Velvet. Well, it's just Sue Ann, Blue Velvet, but pretty good. I'm looking forward to hearing it. I have not played it yet. I wanted to show it to you guys first. So, and of course, when I was in my Jesse Johnson mode, I also got a 12-inch that I don't have, and I picked up Baby Let's Kiss. Anybody else got this 12-inch? Baby Let's Kiss. It's a pretty big picture of Jesse. Baby Let's Kiss. This is the back. And of course, it's got Baby Let's Kiss extended version, 7-inch edit, and then Fool's Paradise on the B side, which is pretty cool. I have like tons of his 12 inches. I'm over it. That sounds funny. I have tons of his 12-inch vinyl over there, as well as the albums, all of them, Shockadelica and whatnot, and Review on vinyl. And I got lots of the 12-inch vinyls, but I didn't have this one. And I also ordered, there was another one too, that for some reason I thought I had at one point in time, and then I don't have them. So let me know if you guys have any of these. All right. Next one is, of course, the one and only Wendy and Lisa. I love this album. I had it on CD. I don't know what happened to it. And then I had it on cassette. And I don't know. I think it's still out there, but I got to find my cassettes. But I love this album. It's a great, great album. I mean, Honeymoon Express is on this. Waterfalls on this. This is a really, really great, great album. Obviously, you guys know I am a hardcore Wendy and Lisa fan. I even have Girl Brothers. A lot of people say they're fans, but they don't have like all the other stuff. I've got like all their albums. I love Wendy and Lisa. And this album is great. I was able to find it on vinyl. I'm looking forward to it. Listening to it on vinyl because it's just great. Brian says he's looking for Bare My Naked Soul on vinyl. I don't think it was ever released on vinyl. I know that the CD version is going for like, I think it's like over $60-70. So if you have Bare My Naked Soul, I have it on CD, but if you have Bare My Naked Soul, hold on to it because it's worth some money because it's out of print. They don't make it anymore. And I'm pretty positive it is not on vinyl. And then I'm sure that Andrew meant Verbal Penetration. If anybody's got Andrew's number, call him, make sure he didn't have a stroke. Verbal Penetration. I do have that on, I think I have it on CD. I don't have it on vinyl. I don't think it was released on vinyl. It may have been. If it was released on vinyl, it would have been a 2 album. It would have been 2 albums. And lastly, the last thing I want to show you is, this is going to take you back, since we're still talking a little bit about Jesse. Da Crash. Does anybody know Da Crash? Come on now. I gotta know where my true fans are, because let me tell you something. If you're a Jesse Johnson fan and you don't know about Da Crash, you need to check out Da Crash. And of course, the Sue Ann Blue Velvet, because he's got a lot of stuff that he's done on here. And on top of that, Da Crash was the bomb. I mean, I have this on cassette and I have this on CD, I think. I know for a fact I have it on cassette, but I did not have it on vinyl. I saw it on vinyl and I was just like, oh, snap. This is, yeah, Wasn't I Good to You? That's a great one, man. This is a great one. I was glad to see this one pop up on Discogs, so I purchased it. So yeah, there's my toys. All right, let's get into the events, shall we? Because you guys are wanting to know some of the really cool things. Hey, Star Wars fans, we've got Star Wars fans out there. What's the, I'm going to mess this up. Ahsoka, that was released today on Star Wars, the first 2 episodes. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's one of the new Star Wars saga. I love Star Wars. Saw the original Star Wars like probably 6 times in the movie theater when I was a kid, in 78 or whenever that was. And it was just, so yeah, Star Wars was a hardcore part of my life. And so I'm really looking forward to that, but we're going to talk about music stuff right now. First thing I want to talk about is this event right here that is happening tomorrow on Hulu. And it is a documentary of sorts. It's what they say it's an original movie, but the way that I kind of read it, it was more of like a documentary type of sorts. It's called Trap Jazz, and essentially what it is, it's like jazz music, kind of like what Guru did to jazz, where he kind of merged hip hop and jazz. You guys remember Guru? I don't know. Sometimes I start talking and I realize that maybe most people don't know who I'm talking about. Guru passed away about 10 years ago, I guess. But this is really, really similar, where they put jazz music over trap music, which is really unusual. And it's like a documentary of sorts. And what's really cool about this is that Tamar Davis is actually Ashley Tamar, who you all well know from 3121, Beautiful, Loved and Blessed. Tamar is a music supervisor on this show, and this airs tomorrow on Hulu, Trap Jazz. So if you want to kind of get a little bit of a Prince fix, I don't know, I have not seen it. It doesn't really get released till tomorrow. But if you have Hulu, maybe she might make an appearance on it. I don't know, but it sounds really, really cool, because I love when they fuse hip hop stuff and jazz together. I just think it's got, I mean, Diggable Planets, Blowout Comb type of stuff, Guru type of stuff. I love it. It's just, that's the kind of hip hop that I gravitate towards. And I'm not exactly sure what they're defining as trap jazz here, but I am all in. I want to check it out. I definitely want to check it out. Obviously, we're going to be talking about here in just a minute. I'm saving this until we get through these events, this event run through, and we'll talk about it, because we're going to talk about it. Okay. This Thursday, 2 days from now, it'll be an official announcement about a Prince release. I told you a few weeks ago to treat it as rumor and conjecture, but that I heard from a source on the inside that it was the Diamonds and Pearls box set and that it's coming. And I'm going to tell you the songs that are going to be included. I'm going to tell you what's on this thing. Now, that is based on, again, rumor and some of the sources that they get. We'll talk about all this stuff, but I'm going to tell you about what we assume is coming. And there's also a couple of pictures that are also in circulation as well. We're going to be talking about that also. So just be ready. We're going to talk about it. It's coming. All right. The Prince Experience. This is done with Vince Mendoza, WDR Big Band. It's happening also on this Saturday, again, this Saturday. It's called the Prince Experience, and it's online. So you don't even have to go anywhere. It is a live stream event you can go to, and involved in this project is going to be Liv Warfield, Cassandra O'Neill, Ricky Peterson, Mike Scott, St. Paul Peterson, Kirk Johnson, and Luis Ribeiro. And it's going to be going on live stream. If you want more information about it, I do actually have the URL. I'm going to go ahead and try to copy this URL, and I will post it into the chat for you guys. If you are on the Funked Up app and you are listening and you're not watching, that's perfectly okay. I would suggest just going to Liv Warfield's Facebook page, or Ricky Peterson's Facebook page, or St. Paul Peterson's Facebook page, and they've all put up the link to this Prince Experience. You can join online live stream. It's going to be doing music, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. All right. That's happening this Saturday. And of course, something else that you may be interested in too, if you happen to be in the Minneapolis area, is our good friend Michael Gabriel. You might know him as the guitarist for Sheila E., but he also was on this show doing a album release party for his album Genesis, and he is now on tour on his own, and he's out there, and he's going to be playing at the Minneapolis Music Festival, which I'm not sure it's the Minneapolis Music Festival. No, it's the Minneapolis State Fair, or the Minnesota State Fair, I think is what it is. I keep saying Minneapolis, Minnesota State Fair. So Michael Gabriel is going to be there. So if you are up in the Minnesota area, you happen to be in driving distance of that, you need to go. Oh, you know what other thing I didn't put up there? I also didn't put up there in September, that Spike Lee is actually doing a Prince and Michael Jackson party up there. I put that on the Facebook page. You guys can check that out, but I did not put this in the list. I'm sorry. My bad. But also, yeah, that's further down the list. But in September, Spike Lee is doing an event, his normal block party in New York, and he's going to be Prince and Michael Jackson. He's having a big block party, and it's pretty cool. So I would check that out. Also happening this Saturday, you may have already heard about this already, is Paisley Park After Dark at the MPG Music Club in Paisley Park, featuring DJ Bake Show Baker. Going to be happening from 7 to 11. You can get the tickets at paisleypark.com/events. We're going to be doing a big party there. It's going to be a dance party. So if you want to go and just hang out and dance, and you love to hear a good DJ playing good music, and it's all Prince, that's probably where to go. Well, now I can't say that it's all Prince. I don't know that it's all Prince. They could just be playing lots of great music. There's going to be more details there, but I do not have all the details here, but it is what it is. And also happening on Saturday, all this is happening on Saturday. We just had them on, is going to be the Shine Music Festival that's happening in Denver, which is really, really cool, with Neal Evans from Dopapod and his amazing band that's got members. I mean, it's really, really cool. It's a wheelchair friendly event. Everything about it is wheelchair friendly, from the time that you get out of the car to even the event is made to primarily focus on people in wheelchairs, and including dance floors that have the vibrations in them, x-ray goggles that have captions that are happening live as you watch things in case you have hearing disabilities. They also have sensory areas in case you get overstimulated. It is completely 100% focused on people with disabilities and catering to them. And it's really, really cool jam band experience. So it's going to be very, very awesome. So if you happen to be in Denver, definitely you need to go to this event. If I was anywhere near this event, I absolutely would go, because this looks like a lot of fun. And man, that's a lot of white people. All right. All right. Liv Warfield is obviously getting closer. Yes, yes, yes. The edge, the edge, the edge. It's the album is coming out, and I am going to be so excited. September 15th, she's having an actual listening party that's going to be happening, and it is amazing. I've heard a few of the tracks out of the 8, I think it is, that is on there, but it is really, 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 really cool. But she is going to be at this official album listening party, and it's going to be featuring DJ 9 It's at Cutting Room, and I want to say this is, God, why don't I have the location on here? I think it's New York, I think. But you can go to facebook.com/Live Warfield Music and find out the information on here, get tickets to go to this event. And on top of this was really cool. She unveiled that she had 20 vinyls, like actual vinyls. She had this album on vinyl, and she only has like 20 or 25 of them, I think. And she's only doing them at this event. So if you want one, you have to do it. You have to go to this event and get it. So go to facebook.com/Live Warfield Music and get your tickets to this event. It's pretty freaking awesome. Just all I got to say. All right, let's go back towards the West Coast a little bit and talk about Vegas, because Morris Day and the Time is going to be doing a show called The Purple Legacy, and it's exclusive Vegas experience. It's going to be September 29th and 30th at the Strat. And it's going to be Morris Day and the Time. I mean, that's pretty much all you need to say. Morris Day and the Time are going to be out there. And that's going to be very cool. And another cool event that's happening on the 30th also is Nansar Productions and Footlong Development are going to be doing a film screening of Prince Under the Cherry Moon. There's going to be an after party as well with DJ C- and DJ Jelly. And it's going to be hosted by the one, the only Jerome Benton. That is going to be taking place in Inglewood, California, at the Miracle Theater, Saturday, September 30th. You got to be 21 at the door, 7 p.m. Screening. And 7 p.m. The doors open and the screening's at 8 p.m. If you want more information, themiracleinglewood.com/cherrymoon, and a full bar. So you can get drunk and watch Under the Cherry Moon, which makes it much better. Yes. It's going to be amazing. So you need to go there. All right. So we got to we got one more thing to talk about, and we'll just go right into it. We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. All right. So the first thing is, it was the 33rd anniversary of Graffiti Bridge yesterday in the United States, the day before in the UK. But 33 years, this image is obviously the work of Steve Park. Shout out to Steve. I know he occasionally watches the show and visits the website and lets me know whenever I put up a photo that I don't say, hey, this is Steve Park. This is Steve Park's photo. But yes, Graffiti Bridge, 33 years old, which when I saw that, I was like, I don't understand how it's been 33 years. Because I remember where I was at when I was listening to this. I remember dancing around the living room to release it. And it just doesn't make sense that it's been 33 years. It's just unfriggin' real. It's been 33 years. That might. Hey, Jaden, what's going on? You should be in bed. No, you shouldn't. It's not even 9 o'clock. She's all good. Hey, Jay. So yeah, this is really, really cool that it's been 33 years for the Graffiti Bridge, but that's what it is. But today, Tuesday, August 22nd, not to put a date stamp on this event, but it is the 17-year anniversary of Prince and the NPG's Diamonds and Pearls video collection. They released this video collection today, 17 years ago, which seems kind of weird that they waited a little bit too long, but it had really, really cool. I mean, you had Thunder, they had videos for Thunder, Get Off, Cream, Diamonds and Pearls. Dr. Feelgood was done live with Rosie Gaines and Tony M. Call the Law, obviously with Damon Dixon and Tony M. Willing and Able, Jughead, Insatiable, Strolling, Money Don't Matter Tonight, and Live for Love. It was all of those videos on this video collection, which is a event that was recorded. A lot of the footage from the live versions were filmed at the Sydney Entertainment Centre in Sydney, Australia in 1992, and Earl's Court in London, England. And 17 years. Well, sorry, well, not 17. It was originally released in 1992, which would have been 31 years ago was originally released, but then there was another re-release of this for whatever reasoning. I mean, of course, we probably know why, but this is pretty amazing. But an amazing, very, very cool segue into Da, 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 da. Yep, there it is. We're going to talk about it. Let's do it. Let's break into it. Okay. All right. Let's do it. I told you about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that we heard a rumor that there was the Diamonds and Pearls video collection. I mean, not video collection. The Diamonds and Pearls box set was coming. Originally, I think about a couple months ago, we had speculated that it might be the Parade box set because there was a lot of hubbub around Under the Cherry Moon, and that may be coming. There may be more coming. We don't know, but we just know there's been a lot of movement in that arena, but that's not where it's going right now. Now we know it is going to be the Diamonds and Pearls box set, super deluxe edition, whatever they're going to call it. But they have not officially released it. So again, you know what I say, treat it as rumor and conjecture, just like I don't know what I'm talking about. Just like I told you 2 weeks ago, but now it's about to come to fruition right now. And okay, you guys want to talk about it? Because I actually had a little bit of some arguments and whatnot on I actually had a couple of arguments actually on Twitter regarding this release, because there were some things that they were saying are going to be released on this that I was a little bit concerned that they were releasing, to be totally honest. Let me fix this microphone here. I was surprised to see some things on here. The official announcement is coming this Thursday, August 24th. So we will find out exactly what it's going to be called. Is it going to be called the box set, super deluxe, just deluxe? Again, the rumored release date is going as, and I don't know if this is true or not, but the rumor release date is October 27th. I know that probably bums you guys out just a little bit because that's a long way away. So they're going to be making an announcement on Thursday, and if that rumored release date is correct, that means you guys, once they make the announcement, you'll need to wait 2 months before you even see it, which is fine, I guess, because they do that with movies all the time, you know. So what's different here? Anyways, that's what's happening. It's coming. So what is it going to be? Well, here's the other rumor. The other rumor is that it's going to be one CD that's going to have the actual album. It's going to have one. I'm going to move you guys chat over here so I can kind of see everything here. One CD that's going to be the actual album, one CD with single edits and B-sides, and one or possibly two CDs. I think it's going to be two CDs with vault tracks. One of the vault track CDs, I think it's going to be two, because one of the vault tracks will be kind of almost like an originals type of thing, almost like an originals part 2. And I'll explain in a minute. And then another vault track CD that will probably have a bunch of stuff on there that you hadn't heard. And then they have another 2 CDs that is going to be a live show. All right. So let's start there. Let's start there with the live show. Andrew's asking how much money it will be. I have no idea. I have no idea what it could be. Anything. Who knows? It could be anything. But let's talk about what we know. For those that were at the celebration, first up, before you're looking at, for those who are online, there is a graphic up here that shows people that have scoured and found a re-registration of a bunch of songs done this year, which is where we kind of got most of this information from. So they registered in the UK. They kind of covered up the tracks pretty well here in the United States, but in the UK, they didn't cover the tracks that well. The live CD will be live at Glam Slam from Minneapolis that happened January 11th, 1992. if you're curious what that sounds like, if you were at the celebration 2 years ago, you got a taste of it. Because the celebration 2 years ago, it was NPG, it was Tony M, there was Damon D, it was a full band, and they did Prince live on the big screen to this video. Now, the video wasn't great quality because the lighting was really, really, really bad in Glam Slam. It was not. I mean, Prince put on an amazing show, and it was a fantastic show, but it was not well lit. It was not, I don't think it was really designed to be shot and released as a video. If it pops up in video, I'm sure it's coming. But audio-wise, it was fantastic. And it's live at the Glam Slam, Minneapolis, Minnesota, January 11th, 1992. And again, they didn't cover their tracks when they were trying to, register all this stuff in time for the release. From what I hear, everything has pretty much been committed to wax. It's all there. So I don't know what to tell you. So now, one of the other things, just like they saw this, also, if you're seeing this list, okay, if you're not online and you happen to be listening via the app, the songs are Thunder, Daddy Pop, Diamonds and Pearls, Willing and Able, Jughead, The Sacrifice of Victor, Nothing Compares to You, Thieves in the Temple, Sexy MF, Insatiable, Get Off, another version of Get Off, that's like a house style, and then 1999, Baby I'm a Star, and Push, combo song. And there was also Horny Pony and Work That Fat that were also registered as well. So interesting to see exactly how this is going to pan out, but this is where that's going as far as this is concerned. Now we're going to talk about some of the songs that they also registered via the UK registry and did not cover their tracks, which is how everybody finds this information. What I'm just curious is sometimes people go out and they like scour the registry and it's like, we're going to watch the Prince registry with a fine magnifying glass, and anything that happens on this page, alert me. And I guess that would be, I mean, I could see that. You could just, because you can do that. There's programs out there where you can say, if this page gets updated on this website, or if this artist gets updated on this website, send me an alert. And they'll send you an alert if anything happens. And that's how people are just like, oh, there it is. I found it. So there's this. So this is the live part of it, which is going to be live at the Glam Slam. And I don't know how this is going to be packaged. I don't know how it's all going to shake out, but this is where we're at. Now, let's talk about the other songs so that you can get a peek at what's coming. All right. You guys ready for this? We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them all. You want to talk about them all? I'm not just going to ramble out the list. I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of background on the song. Not like all the backgrounds on the songs, but just little tidbits. I was actually going to have little teeny pieces of the songs, but I don't want to do that either, because there's just a lot of stuff that ends up being really, really different. And so I don't want to do that to you guys. Let's just not go there. Let's start here. Here is the list of the songs that are going to be, well, that they registered in the UK registry. And it starts out with Schoolyard. Now, I'm not going to talk about Schoolyard just yet. I'm going to come back to that. Because it's one of the kerfuffles. I like that word. It's one of the kerfuffles that I got into on Twitter was about Schoolyard. And just some of the things that, I'm the first person that says, don't say what Prince would or would not have done. Especially now that he's gone and he has no control, and, you don't have to succumb to his will. It's, you do what you want. We'll come back to Schoolyard. Okay. I'm going to save that one. I'm going to save Schoolyard. fix this camera here. I'm going to save Schoolyard for the end of this discussion. All right. I'm going to save Schoolyard. The next song in the list is My Tender Heart. Now, here's where, as I said, some of the stuff gets really interesting because a lot of this is almost like the originals too. Originals album obviously had his more popular songs that he did for other artists, but there are a bunch of songs that he wrote for Rosie Gaines and Jevetta Steele that you guys probably didn't even know that he wrote. And a lot of people don't know that he wrote. So technically this can kind of fall in this originals era. The first one is a song called My Tender Heart, which was a song that he wrote that was on Rosie Gaines's album, Closer Than Close. So we're obviously going to hear Prince's version of this. Pain is the next one on the list. And that was actually from Shaka Khan on the Living Single soundtrack. So that was from that. Streetwalker, I have not heard, but that was a song that he wrote for Rosie Gaines. That is an unreleased track from Rosie Gaines, but obviously this will be him singing it, unless they release it with Rosie Gaines singing it. I don't know. I doubt it, but there it is. Another track I have not heard is Lorianne. Lorianne is a track that was written by Prince, Michael B, and Sonny T. And so that's going to be, rockier, more raw track. I mean, most of the stuff that you get from that era, there's like a lot of music from that era. It's a little bit harder. I think he was just trying to do a little bit more of a rocky thing, but it's a little bit looser because they're just like a little bit of a jam session. And they wrote a lot of songs in that jam session that they had. And Lorianne was one of them. I have not heard this track. If I have, it has been put into a mix with other songs, or I don't know. I've not heard this one. Insatiable. Obviously we know Insatiable. That song is from Diamonds and Pearls. This will probably be on the CD that will be the B-sides and single edits or whatever, but this is an early mix of the song Insatiable. Glam Slam 91 is, Glam Slam 91 is a little bit deceptive because it's not really Glam Slam. Glam Slam 91 is more Get Off than Glam Slam. It uses a lot of pieces from Get Off, and it's not Glam Slam. But they did actually play this in I don't remember when it was, but it was done on a radio station it was done at a radio station called WLOL in Twin Cities, way back when. And I think that's the only time, I don't know. Then you have the next one on the list is what? Live for Love, which is another early version, another Diamonds and Pearls cut that we all know and love, but this is an early version. I know with a lot of early versions, he didn't do a lot of the orchestrations and the big choral arrangements. It was really more raw. And I think I've heard this before, but I don't know. I don't know. You never know, because if any particular song, even the songs that we all know and love that were officially released on albums, there can be like a half a dozen different versions of songs that are just in various states of completion. So it's going to be really cool to hear some of these early versions. Live for Love, I think I've heard that one. Again, it's not really kind of really polished, but it's really cool. The next song is Skip to My You, My Darling, not to be confused with Skip to My Lou, My Darling, which is obviously where they got that term, but this is one of those originals ones because he wrote that song for Jevetta Steele, and it was released by Jevetta Steele on her Here It Is album. So you have that. The next one is Daddy Pop, the 12-inch mix, which I think the 12-inch mix has been out there before in like when it was released as like a I think it was released over in the UK. I don't think it was here, but Daddy Pop 12-inch mix, Diamonds and Pearls cut is what it is. Then you got a couple of tracks from Martika, which he wrote Martika's Kitchen, which is, Martika's Kitchen was a huge album for her. And the title track of the album, Martika's Kitchen, this is him doing it. That is on there, as well as the song Spirit was also on Martika's album. Both of those songs, it would just be Prince singing them. And I've heard the Prince version of, I've heard the version of that. So there's that. Speaking of which, well, we'll come back to Martika in a second, because the next song on the list is Open Book, which was another track that he wrote for Javetta Steele on the Here It Is album. So there was that one. And Work That Fat. This is where we go back to Martika's Kitchen, because Work That Fat, he uses his Bob George voice, kind of. It's kind of like a little bit of an offshoot of that Bob George voice. But it's done over this kind of twisted instrumental version of Martika's Kitchen, the song. And something, how many food stamps you need to get this palace? If you don't know what I said, doesn't matter. It's just this quirky, funny song that's very, very similar to Bob George, and that, very tongue in cheek. It's just weird. Horny Pony, but this is version 2. Now, obviously, Horny Pony was the B-side to Get Off, but this is version 2, which means that this version could be totally different than what we know as Horny Pony and Know and Love. It could be, I don't know. Next song is Something Funky, This House Comes, which is the band version. They actually played that live at the Rock in Rio in 1991. That was actually there as well. And it was supposed to be, now what's funny is that Something Funky, This House Comes was supposed to be on Diamonds and Pearls, but it got cut. I think it was I don't remember what track it was going to be, but it was going to be later on in the album, and it got dropped. So this is cool that it's coming out now, but if you listen to some certain radio stations, you might hear it. Just saying. Anyways, the next song is Hold Me. Again, another track that Javetta Steele did on the Here It Is album. Hold me. And that's out there. It's a really cool song. But again, this will be Prince doing it. This is one of 2 tracks that I don't know anything about. It's called Blood on the Sheets. I cannot find any information on this track called Blood on the Sheets. I don't know anything about it. I don't know where it came from. It's really kind of cool, because even if you go onto like something that's more definitive, like Prince Vault, there's nothing on it. It's like, I can't find anything on it. I mean, I didn't really look like hardcore, but I was like, this is weird that I don't know anything about this song. So I'm excited when I hear songs, when I hear titles, and I was like, I don't know what that one's about at all. So, because it means that I'm about to get more music, which is awesome. Looking forward to that. The Last Dance, which is a song, it's also subtitled Bang Pow Zoom and the Whole Nine. Bang Pow Zoom and the Whole Nine. And it's one of these songs it's instrumental, but it's got a lot of pieces of Jughead in it. I've heard it once before, a long time ago, years ago. And at one point I had it. I don't have it anymore. I don't even know where it's at. But it's out there. Yeah. And Joni says, reminds me of Blood on the Dance Floor by Michael Jackson. Yeah. But I'm sure that Blood on the Sheets has something more to do with something sexual. I'm sure, considering some of the other stuff in this era. So that's just my guess. I don't know. Get Blue. That was a song that he gave to the band Louie Louie, the girl band that had what was the name of that album? Let's Get Started. Louie Louie. That was there on that. Get Blue. Also, I've heard most of these songs, but there's like still probably about 6 of them that I'm just not confident about. I'm not confident about. Yeah, they were friends. Then the next song is Tip of My Tongue. Tip of My Tongue was actually a song that he gave to El DeBarge that was on his In the Storm album. So you have that one. So this is, as I said, this is like an originals album. It's like, for those who were like, oh, he's got so many more songs that he's written for other people, they should have an originals too. This is almost like an originals too. There is like tons of music that's on here that he wrote for other artists that are here. It's just there. It's pretty amazing. There was next. The next song is The Voice, which is, you've probably heard this one. I don't know if you have, but it's was given to Mavis Staples, and Mavis Staples put it on the album The Voice. It was the title track. So there's that song. There's another song I know nothing about. This is the second of 3 that I know nothing about, which is a song called Trouble. I don't know anything about Trouble. And if I don't know anything about Trouble and I go to Prince Vault and Prince Vault doesn't know anything about Trouble, it's pretty unusual. But there was a couple Trouble songs. There was a song called Trouble with Emma that was recorded in 2004. So I'm positive that's not that, because that's totally not this era. That's 10 years late, more than 10 years later. So we know that that's not what it is. It could possibly be a maybe a version of the song Female Trouble that he wrote for Nona Hendrix in 1987. But if it's going to be one of those two, it will be that one, but I doubt it, just because it's just not probable. It's just not probable. I don't know. I think it's a total another song. It's probably an instrumental. I don't know. Then Alice Through the Looking Glass is the other one I know nothing about. And again, neither does Prince Vault. Alice Through the Looking Glass is like, obviously it's a book title. That's what I can tell you. So I imagine it's probably got a little bit of psychedelic to it. Probably a little bit weird. I don't know. Then there's Hey You, which is Get F'd You Mother. That's the song. Hey You. I know this song. It is a song that was written a while back for Margie Cox, and there was like a bunch of stuff that came as a result of all the stuff with what's the name of the band? The Rebels. So there was like a bunch of music that came out of that rock era, and Hey You was one of them. So that was originally written for Margie Cox. I don't think that one ever saw the light of day. So, we'll see what happens with that one. Let's see what's the next one on here. Letter for Miles. That was a tribute that was written to Miles Davis. That was written with Michael B. And there was a bunch of songs that were done in that recording session. A bunch of them. I'm trying to remember all the songs. We can't all have great days, but this was one that he wrote for Miles Davis. And it's really cool. You may have heard it. If you listen to certain radio stations, you may have heard it. Then you have 2 more. You have I Pledge Allegiance to Your Love. I don't know what this one is. My guess is that it is the Howard Hewitt song Allegiance that Prince wrote, and it was just retitled to Allegiance. That's all that I can think this is, because I can't imagine that you would use the word allegiance more than once in your repertoire if you're going to be creating songs. It doesn't make sense. I can only think that Allegiance is this song. I Pledge Allegiance to Your Love is just Allegiance, the Howard Hewitt song, but it's Prince's version, which is really, really cool. And then the last one that's on this list is Thunder Ballet. And Thunder Ballet was changed to fit a ballet and given to the Joffrey Ballet. So they kind of took Thunder and kind of twisted it. And kind of twisted it and made it into more of an arrangement that fit a ballet. And it was, again, so it's going to be Thunder, and it's going to be, whatever. I am being corrected. And on the Louie, I think I'm getting it confused with another band. Stephanie Meal says Louie Louie was a Latin guy in Madonna's Borderline video who went on to have his own solo career with the song Sitting on the Lap of Luxury in 1990. And she said, I played it on YouTube and it's all right. What is the band that I'm thinking of with the two girls? I don't remember. What is the name of that band? Anyways, so those are the songs that are in the list. So, okay. Let's go back to the top of the list and talk about Schoolyard. This is some of the things that I kind of got. And it's just speculation, you're just trying to, obviously being a Prince fan since the early 80s and following him all these years and understanding his music and understanding the periods that he went through and how he kind of kept redefining himself and where he was in his life once 2000 happened, and specifically because of the interactions with Larry Graham and doing, everything. And I've said it before on this show that I remember where I was standing when he was on the stage and he said, you're no longer going to hear any profanity from this stage, from my microphone ever again. And I'm like, what? And even some of the stuff like, DMSR, he would change the lyrics to work that body like you want some more instead of whore. And so, there was like a lot of changes and a lot of things that he was doing, a lot of alterations that he was doing to the music because he was trying to kind of represent himself in a different way. And I know that, as you kind of see some of these releases kind of come out with these vault tracks, I'm grown. I don't have to hear profanity. I don't have to hear, I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me. There's a lot of, I love Kendrick Lamar. I listen to Pimp a Butterfly probably at least once a week in its entirety. Profanity doesn't bother me, but it's a really kind of difficult conversation when you kind of, we want to hear everything that he ever recorded, and rightfully so. But we also know, I think as Prince fans, that none of this would have seen the light of day if he were still with us, right? That's just pretty much because he would be constantly writing and constantly releasing new material that kind of aligned with wherever his head was at that time. So, a couple of examples that I have, Sign of the Times Super Deluxe that we got, We Can F was on there. I don't know why I can't say it. We Can Fuck was on there. I'm pretty confident that he would not have released that song. He just wouldn't have released that song just because of the fact of where he was. He would have put something else on it, or it would have been forever allocated to the vault. It would have been done, and that was it. That's all it would have been. That's all it would have done. The vault, we're done. Bye. And that was it. But there is some editing going on as well. Suzanne says, yes, the editing was kind of sad. But like we saw the release of the original Extra Lovable on the streaming platforms, but they removed the line where he says, I'm going to have to rape you now. Well, that was in the song. So you're now, you're kind of putting it out there. Now you're putting it out there in the ether. It's out there. And everybody knew the song. Everybody knew what the song said. That's not the only song that he said. What's the other song that he says that in? Was it Lest You Always? I think it's Lest You Always, where he also says that. So they removed the kind of the rape comments and whatever. I saw there was editing on the song Eggplant. Many people may have missed this one, but if you remember the original version of the song Eggplant, there was a whole dialogue that happened between Prince and Wendy in the middle of the song where they're kind of talking back and forth, and Wendy says, "She's retarded, slow." That was taken out. When, matter of fact, that whole conversation was taken out. For whatever reason. I mean, for all we know, it could have been taken out because they didn't want to give credit to Wendy for being on that song. I don't know. I'm just saying that there's a lot of stuff that's being edited. So I don't care. Let's be clear about, I want to be clear about this. Okay. I don't care. Release. I would prefer to hear the songs in their original form, but there's also a part of me that also understands, there's also a part of me that, I don't know. There's some things that I kind of feel like ride the line. And yes, I always hear people say, and you know, Kiaria saying it here. He said, Prince said that someday somebody would release his music. Yes. But you also have people like his sister, Sharon Nelson, who said, if I release any music, what's going to end up happening is that I am going to, I'm not going to release any music with profanity in it. And I'm not going to do that. I've heard her say that she was going to be making very, very, very specific decisions about what was going to get released. And a lot of people were like, no, let's not do that. We want to hear some of that raw stuff from the 80s. We want to hear that 80s and 90s stuff where it's raw, it's really out there. We want to hear a lot of that stuff. We're okay with profanity. It doesn't matter. We're okay with the word retarded. But Schoolyard is an entirely different beast. For those who are not familiar with Schoolyard, or for those uninitiated, the song Schoolyard is about Prince when he was 16 being in school, and the whole chorus is getting it on in the schoolyard, and he's 16 years old, and this is just the narrative of this song. Okay, so if you're really upset, Jaden, if you're still online, get off. 16, and he's got the hots for a girl named Carrie, and this girl Carrie is 14 years old. And he talks about riding in the back seat of this is all in the song. He talks about riding in the back seat of a car with her, and she's falling all over his lap. Innocent enough until he warns people to close your ears if you ain't got a nasty heart. And he then proceeds to talk about taking off Carrie's pants, and then starts to describe how it felt having sex with her. And the line is, take a glove, fill it with hot baby lotion, and slip it on. Pull it tight. That's what Carrie was like. One stroke and I was gone. Pretty vivid. And remember, 14. The girl he's talking about is 14. So I commented on Twitter. I said, so I'm kind of curious where people's heads at with the schoolyard thing. It's a song. It's a song. It's a song. It's not reality. It's a song. But dude, if this song was released now, which it's about to be apparently, parents are going to lose their oh my God. He's talking about having sex with a 14-year-old and describing how it feels like. In like pretty vivid kind of details a little bit. Now, granted, he does warn them, if you don't have a nasty heart, close your ears. Yes. And there are, yes, I agree. Joni's like, there are countless films that are centered on teenagers losing their virginity. I got it. I understand. That was it. This is a dialogue. This is a question. I'm okay with the song. I've heard the song. Kind of makes me cringe a little bit. you know, it's kind of cringy, but it's very visual. And again, I'm curious if this song is going to be edited. Is this song going to be edited like Eggplant was edited? Is it going to be edited like Extra Lovable? Or was that it? Is it going to be edited like this? Or are they just going to just let it? Are they going to take out the nasty part song? Because minus that section, the song is just, it's just getting it on in the schoolyard. And it could be anything. It could be anything. And I hear a lot of people saying, you know, there's there's a lot of people coming to this defense. One person, what was it? Again, I mentioned it on Twitter. I was just like, just curious, you know, what you guys feel. You know, I don't care. I've listened to the song. We play the song. It makes no difference. I'm just talking about when we're talking about under the guise of an official release. Under the guise of an official release. That's what I'm trying to process with you guys. I like the song. It's a cool song. It's an interesting song. It's a very vivid song, and it definitely gets a reaction for sure, especially if you're paying attention to the lyrics. But people got pissed. Just when I'm just having a discussion, just having a dialogue. People were mad. People were like, "Oh my God, what are you talking about? You're out of your mind. This is crazy." One person said something along the lines of, there's nothing wrong with it. He was just reminiscing. He was reminiscing about what it was like. And he was, you know, that's it. There's nothing wrong with that. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. All right. I guess it depends on who's singing it. What if Donald Trump was a singer and he sang it and he was reminiscing about being 16 and making love to it and having sex with a 14-year-old? A totally different vibe then, maybe. Yeah, because it's Trump, right? But it's okay because it's we're having a dialogue here. That's it. We're having a dialogue. That's it. That's all I'm doing. We're having a dialogue. I'm just trying to put some perspective on it because not everybody holds Prince in such high regard as we do. It's just the reality of it. There's going to be people that are going to hear that and be like, "Oh, what is happening here?" But I mean, he's always gotten away with those types of lyrics. He's always gotten away with those lyrics. What's the Jill Jones song? I have only had one lover since I was 12 years old. What? What? He's always gotten away with those little things where it's just like, hey, if you're not paying attention, that's not my problem. It's not my issue. That's your issue. But anyways, people got pissed at me because I was having a dialogue, and I don't remember exactly how I said it, but it looked like I was taking the side of no, this can't be. And that's not what I was doing. That's not what I was doing. That's not what I was doing. Andrew was like, didn't Trump actually do that? Yeah. I mean, but when he talks about, he's simply just having a dialogue with somebody with Billy Bush in a bus talking about grabbing her by the, people lost their minds. What if she was 14? Anyways, whatever. One person was like, this person that was on Twitter, she could be on here right now. I don't know. There was one person on Twitter that said, I used to be a fan of I literally wrote this down because it was verbatim what she said. I used to be a fan of your YouTube videos, but your tweet rubs me the wrong way. Okay. It can't all be, I'm just trying to have a discussion and a dialogue. That's it. I'm curious what you think. What do you think of some of the editing that's going on? Or what do you think about some of the not editing that's happening? Some of the refusal to edit some of the things that probably should be edited. I don't know. We all like good music. It's great music. Everybody that's in here, we are in a whole, everybody that loves music, that loves Prince, and that's in this group, we're a different beast, because in reality, a lot of us are like, Prince can do no wrong. I'm just looking at it I'm trying to look at it under different lenses. Like, this is the estate releasing this song now that talks about him having sex with a 14-year-old, which is fine. He recorded it. He went through the process of writing it. He wrote the lyrics. He even had I think it was Rosie Gaines singing the background vocals to this as well. It was like, schoolyard. It's like a whole thing. It's a whole production. For those who haven't heard the song, I'm sorry, but it's a different song for sure. And he put a lot of work into the song. But where was Prince's head at? This song, I feel like it would have been forever in the vault if he were still with us. I don't think we would have ever seen this song ever. Like, I don't think we would have seen the We Can Fuck. I don't think we've ever would have saw that one either if he were still with us. Just because he's in a different headspace, and he's trying to make sure that he's fortifying people and being positive and creating positivity. And he was just in a totally different headspace. He's no longer with us now. So it is what it is, you know? That's all that I'm trying to have a dialogue with. I was going through the list and I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay. I saw Schoolyard at the top of the list and I was like, oh, really? Okay. This is going to be interesting to see an official release of Schoolyard. Very interesting to see this, and how it will shake out. Is it going to be, I'm just curious how it's going to shake out. I don't know. All that being said, you know, I've heard Schoolyard for many, many years, and it's not a bad song musically. I just always thought it would forever remain a vault track. I just thought that even the powers that be, the folks that make the decisions about what's going to get released, would even go, yeah, that's a good song, but may cause a kerfuffle. They released the I'm Gonna Rape You Now. They edited that out. So, and that's nowhere near, I don't think, as shocking as, obviously it's violence towards women or violence towards whoever, but, I don't know. Why is it so quiet? Anyways, you got to look at it. It's just having the different lenses to look at this through and just say, yeah. I've seen a couple people, Andrew, I've seen everybody saying, just put the parental advisory sticker on there. You know, it's interesting. I'm trying to process all these songs in my head. And was like, is there any profanity on it? There is. Diamonds and Pearls says profanity all over it. Yeah. So it's going to have a parental advisory stickery anyways. It is what it is. But you're talking about a guy who charged people he had a swear jar at Paisley Park. I love the story about Erykah Badu, where she said she came into Paisley Park and there was a swear jar. And she just took all the money out of her pocket and put it in the jar. She was like, yeah, we're going to be cursing today. Yeah. There's swear jars. And then this is my swear jar. There's a swear jar. And then there's the jar of bringing up Prince when nobody asked jar. That's my jar. That's my jar here. I'm more guilty of the jar on the right than I am on the jar on the left. But yeah, that's me for sure. Absolutely. Somebody did mock up, for those who are watching online, there's a picture of two jars. One jar says swear jar and the other jar says bringing up Prince when nobody asked jar. And That one's full. This is a track listing that somebody mocked up, and I don't know. I don't know the legitimacy of it. I don't think it's legit because it wouldn't be that kind of text, but it kind of lays out everything, all the songs, I guess, to try to put it in some type of order where maybe it had a certain flow. But again, I don't know how you know some of these songs and how they flow, but there's kind of an idea of what it would look like. However, we do actually, I mean, and it can't be the track listing on one CD. It just can't be that way because there's 27 songs on this back of the CD, which wouldn't, I mean, if you add together all the times, I think you have to put it on 2 CDs. It's just not possible. I haven't actually done the addition, but I think you're almost at 3 CDs here because some of these songs, like the Thunder Ballet, is 11 minutes long just by itself. So, and Something Funky This House Comes is also 7 minutes long. The length of some of these songs is just really, really long. Schoolyard's a 7-minute song. Yeah. It's just is what it is. But I do have some more images. For you. Sorry for the folks that are on the radio station, but I do have some more images. These images I hear are legit, but I don't know. Again, we have to wait till Thursday to get the official announcement. And then once this album gets released, I think somebody had mentioned it before, you're going to have a long, I will do the album chat. I will do an album chat talking about the history of some of these songs. Like when we do album chats, that's kind of what we do. So, or what I do, more or less. But let's talk about this next image, which is going to be the singles image, is what I hear this is. It's very, very similar. What was it? One of you guys can help me. I want to say it was Sign of the Times where they did a box set of the singles. This is a box set of the singles from Diamonds and Pearls. So it is going to have it's a 45 box set, and it has all the 45s that were in singles. Each one of them has their own sleeve. You've got Get Off, you've got Cream. I'm just trying to look at the ones I'm seeing here. I see Cream, I see Get Off, I see there's a lot in here. Plus, on top of that, you also got cards and stuff too, photo cards. So this looks like it would be really, really cool kit to get. And if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure this was Sign of the Times that they did this, it was only for sale on the website, and it was a limited edition. I want to say there was only 500 of them or something. I don't know if Rodney's in here. He would be able to tell me. But there is, I'm sure there's many you can tell me too, but there was a singles box set that was very, very similar to this that was for sale online only. And there was only a very, very limited edition of them that they were releasing. And it looks like this is going to be something very, very similar. So awesome. That's cool. The other thing is, and this is probably legit as well, is the double clear vinyl that is going to be, I guess, DMP, Diamonds and Pearls on clear vinyl. I imagine they'll probably call it Pearl, is what they'll probably market it as. But it's a double album set, as you probably expect. Now, what's kind of cool, what I always love about these is that occasionally Target or Walmart or so with Target or Walmart, like the two primary ones, there'll be like a really special edition colored one that comes out that's, very, very, very different. And anyways, it's going to be very, very cool to kind of see some of this stuff finally come out. So we're all looking forward to this release. Now, Andre, you actually bring up a really, really good question. One of the big things with Diamonds and Pearls was the hologram CD. Is any of this release going to have any types of holograms on it? I saw somebody, I don't know if it was a mock-up image that somebody had done or somebody had done something. Yeah, I think the box set actually had like some one of the CDs or something was hologram. I don't remember what it was. It was a mock-up. So good question. Is there going to be any type of hologram for Diamonds and Pearls? I wonder if I can see it over here. I'm looking behind me. If I can see Diamonds and Pearls. And I do see it. Hold on. Yep. I do. All right. Sorry for you folks on the radio. It's horrible video either way. But yeah, so if you guys remember on the CD, there was this hologram. That hologram that was really, really cool. Well, is this going to be part of it? Are they going to incorporate holograms somewhere? Because that was pretty one of the, I think you can't miss some of the really important release points about what made Diamonds and Pearls kind of cool from a marketing perspective. And one of those things was that hologram on the CD. Good question, Andre. Never cease to amaze me. So, yeah, so there's a lot of cool things that I'm looking forward to with the official release of Diamonds and Pearls. The biggest question obviously being, are all those songs really going to be on there? All those songs, if you think about the list of the songs that I went over, and I'll go back to that list. Well, we can actually look at the back of this mock-up here that somebody did. But if you look over it, Daddy Pop, Martika's Kitchen, Spirit, Open Book, Work That Fat kind of falls, it kind of is what it is. Horny Pony, Something Funky, This House Comes, Hold Me, I don't know about Blood on the Sheets, I don't know about Last Dance really, Get Blue, Tip of My Tongue, The Voice, Trouble, all these really kind of have a very, very similar sound and flow. And if they're put together correctly, they can have a really, really good flow, but there's some here that don't. Schoolyard would probably be a really, it's a good song, but I'm sorry. Blessing had said something earlier. And said, Blessing said, I don't think it should be released. It will sell, but he was in a different time. He was a different lane at the time. And I'm sure that he would release those. I'm not sure that he would release those if he were here. No, he would not release those. There's no way in the mindset that he was in towards his final years that he would release We Can Fuck, that he would release Schoolyard, that he would release Lust You All. He just wouldn't have done it. Here I go again. How do you know what Prince would have done? I'm just going by what he said. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just going by what he said. But gonna have to see. We're going to have to see. And I am interested though. I'm interested in seeing what this announcement is going to be. And unfortunately, if the rumor is true, the release date will be October 27th, which means that after they make the announcement, we're going to be waiting for 2 months. And from what I heard, there was also rumor that there was something else going on as well that could possibly come out this year. But if Diamonds and Pearls is going to be this big of a release with this many tracks on it, I can't imagine they're going to. What's going to end up happening is they're going to create a lot of marketing around it and market the singles. They're going to market, the singles as far as like a package is concerned. They're going to market. They have enough to take them through until next year. But there's been talks about, we've already been talking about Parade. We're talking about, but I don't think the Parade box set's going to happen this year. I just don't see them doing 2 box sets this close together. It's just flooding the market. It wouldn't be, that's not how you do things. If this is coming out, this is what's coming out on Thursday. And from what we can tell from all the confirmation that we've had with all these people that have gone through the process of digging up all this information, it's going to be the Diamonds and Pearls box set, and they're not going to flood the market with another box set. So I think we're looking at best case scenario would be looking at Parade late next year, fall of next year. They're just not going to do that. You know, as much as you guys would like to think is in the vault, there is a lot of stuff in the vault, and a good bit of it's probably not great. It's probably jam sessions of like, it's kind of like junk music, you know, where it's like, it's an, you know, hour-long sessions of the same beat repetitively. It's kind of like listening to the extended version of America. It's like, after about 10 minutes, you're like, okay, I get it. We can move on now. I don't know. It's going to be that. So, Joni's asking, all right, let's see what this is. Then why would he initiate the museum process before April 21st, 16, which includes all his raunchy stuff? He had a problem with Schoolyard being released today. Well, he's not going to erase the past of everything that's been officially released. That's just not going to happen. He's still, to this day, even, well, not to this day, obviously he's no longer with us, but even in his later concerts, he was still performing. He was still performing DMSR, and he was still performing Bambi. I mean, he was still performing some of those songs, but he altered the lyrics and he did tame a lot of stuff down. Wow, that was loud. But he, it is what it is. It's just, you know, he's not going to erase what he's already originally done and all the songs and music that people love. We're just talking about as far as going back in time and pulling songs as it stands now. That's kind of where we're at. It's kind of hard to justify what's what, because again, we don't know what Prince would do. But anyways, Joni says he's got bikini pics on full display. Well, that was his album cover. You can't change an album cover. He's not going to go back and put on a smock. It is what it is, you know. That music is what got him to where he is. It's what established his fan base. He's been through many different phases, but moving forward, he had different plans. So it's not about erasing the past. It's just moving forward. Anyways, that's the information that we have for you today on Diamonds and Pearls box set. I hope you got a good bit of information here. We kind of went through all the songs that were on there. The official announcement is coming on Thursday. We also hear that the release date is going to be October 27th. So got a lot of time to talk about it. A lot of time to talk about it. So we can do that. But all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Sorry I took last week off, but you know how it is. I'm not going to take next week off, even though I don't really necessarily have anything planned. We'll at worst case scenario do another free for all. We've got some really, really cool stuff, and it was good to hang out with you guys again. And it's just I was a little bit nervous at the beginning here because I got lots of stuff going on with this new computer, and it's weird. The video stuff is not quite right. I don't think the audio is really exactly where I need it to be. It's just, I'm hearing like all kinds of stuff. So if I've seemed a little scatterbrained, it's because it's like having somebody talking in your ear sometimes, because I'll be getting alerts from different programs and stuff that'll be going off in my ear. And it's like, so I have some stuff to work through with this computer. And, you know, if you guys want me to go back to the old background where it's just my wallow stuff, I'll do it. Oh my God. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We had a good time tonight. I had a good time tonight talking about this stuff. I was really, really excited to get you all of the details about the Diamonds and Pearls release as much as we had. And we'll be back next week. Maybe Jeff Page will be back in the mix. Not exactly sure, but if you have any questions or you want to chat about this or you want to have more discussions, that's what it's all about. There's going to be people that agree with me. There's people that don't agree with me. I don't even agree with me. So, because I like the song. So don't get all bent out of shape. I'm just got to look at it through different lenses, because in the cancel culture and the whole world that we're in today, where people get upset over the craziest minute little pieces of information and take things and twist things, and we just got to be careful. We just got to be careful. So all that being said, I hope you guys had a good time. Let's do some intro music, and we will see you guys next week. I'm Mr. Christopher. Welcome to Funkatopia, WTF. It was good to have you guys on board. Oh, one of you folks, fine folks, did order a mug. I was having some issues with the machine, and so I'm going to get your order out. So if you have an order for a Welcome to Funkatopia mug, a WTF mug, the system has been fixed, so I'll be able to make them again tomorrow. Yes, we don't just have a box of them laying around. We actually make them as they are ordered. So if you guys are going to order any mugs, get them. They're relatively cheap and free shipping too. Funkatopia.com/shop. So if people are going to order them, just go ahead and order them so I can go ahead and make them all in one fell swoop. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. And oh my gosh, I just hit it and no. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Love the music. I'm going to have to start it over now. I didn't even test all of my sound effects. Oh, we got to test the one from last week. Okay, that's good. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week. Adios, amigas y amigos. I feel like I should put something up. I don't know what. I don't know. I just like hanging out and talking to you guys. All right. One more time. Good night.